Well, now we've been presented with a new possibility, and I think this is great. And let me give you a disclaimer and warning before I even show you this new college football 12-team format. None of this is official at this current moment in time. This is all speculation. So yesterday, we talked about the breaking news that came out from one of my sources that the college football playoff format, more than likely, is going to be changing. Why is it going to be changing? Well, if you want the long answer, go watch yesterday's video to get more details. But to make a long story short, because of all the realignment going on with the Pac-12. Because remember, originally, the main reason we're even heading to a 12-team playoff format is because everyone was complaining that we devalue conference championships. And it's so ironic because now the Pac-12, well, it's not even a real conference anymore. It's a Pac-4. To win the Pac-12 at this current moment in time, it means nothing. And it for sure doesn't mean you're one of the best 12 teams in the country and you belong in the playoff. Like I was saying though in yesterday's video, that's what we talked about, how the members of this playoff committee, they're going to have a lot of meetings in the near future. They're going to have a very tough decision and decide on what they want to do now heading forward since the Pac-12 is irrelevant. And why this is so important, and I'll get to this in just a second, essentially speaking, the Pac-12 at this moment in time in 2024, they have an automatic bid. And that's why the members of the playoff committee are like, yep, we got to re-examine all this. Do we really want to give the Pac-12 an automatic bid? That's what they're thinking. Fast forward in time to today, though, there is now some speculation of what this new 12-team playoff format is going to look like, and I'm excited to say the least. Will this happen? I have no idea. The key word I'm going to throw in this video is this is all speculation. But remember, in yesterday's video, one of my scenarios was, okay, if you take away that auto bid from the Pac-12, do you give an extra one to the SEC or maybe the Big Ten? What do you do? And weirdly enough, that's exactly what we're about to talk about and get into. There's a lot of stuff going on in the college football world. As we all know, the season's ramping up, but this will be the one and only topic we're going to talk about because I think it's that important. I really just want to get into this. I know you guys want to get into it as well. Maybe if we have some time at the end, we'll talk about what Nick Saban said today about all the realignment stuff going on. If we don't get to it, it is what it is. Hope you guys had a great week, and if not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. All right, Matt, Bob, shut the crap out without further ado. Let's get into it. First things first, I want to address this comment from Nathan he left on the previous video, and he's 100% right, and I should have addressed this. I don't know why I didn't. I'll explain what he's talking about if you're kind of confused, but let me read it off first to give you some context. Nathan stated, I would like to clarify that it was never automatic Power 5 conference champs. It was top 6, and generally the top 5 are the Power 5. So just keep it at 6 conference champs. The P4 will probably still make it, but then you have 2 group of 5 conference champs. Yes, he's 100% right, but also like he was saying, generally the top 5 highest ranked conference champions are a part of the Power 5. That's why we call them the Power 5. And I'm going to say it all throughout this video. When you hear me say, hey, the Pac-12 has an automatic bid, that's just me kind of assuming the Pac-12 is going to have one of the top 6 highest rated conference champions, which more than likely will always be the case. Because it's just not realistic for you to have not one, but 2 group of 5 conference champions that are higher ranked than a Pac-12 champion. You see what I'm saying? That is something I wanted to point out, though. Great comment. But getting back on track here, the principles, at least to me, for my 2 scenarios I threw out there, still the same. I think there's only 2 legit case and scenarios of solving this, and you gotta do either one. Scenario number 1 is you reduce the automatic bids from 6 to 5, and you have now 7 at-large bids. 5 automatic bids for your highest ranked conference champions and then 7 at-large spots. That just makes total sense because that's going to be room for the Power 4, and then you're going to have an extra spot for the Group of 5 champion, which I do want to see them get in there. It gives us that March Madness feel because no, you don't expect the 15 seed to beat the 2 seed, but it could happen. Just give them a chance. That's why we want to watch. Just the chance of an upset happening. Is it likely that Cincinnati could ever beat an Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama? No, but it's a chance that keeps us reeled in. However, though, I will say this. I don't want to see them get 2 chances. I don't want to see 2 non-Power 4 teams, the Group of 5 teams, get in. Nah, I really don't, because we all know how that's going to go. It's more than likely going to be 2 butt whoopings. 1 team like that, yeah, I'm down for. 2, no. So that's why I say you got to have 7 at-large bids. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is, and this leads us into what we're about to really get into, is you give an automatic bid to either the SEC or the Big Ten. So you keep your 6 automatic bids, but you just say, hey, the SEC, they're going to get 2 because they're the best. Or vice versa. You could say, hey, the Big Ten, they got more members, a lot of great members. They're going to get 2. That one's a little controversial. To me, I don't think it's controversial because I think the best conference should get more automatic bids. It's just harder and difficult. I don't see why anybody a part of the Big 12 or ACC would be complaining about the SEC getting 2 auto bids. Because let's be honest, who was the only team that probably could have beat Georgia last year? Either Ohio State or Alabama. That's it. And I'm not saying Alabama deserved to be in the playoff because they didn't. I'll be the first person to tell you that. But everybody knows this. Everybody watching a championship game, what they say, man, I wish TCU wouldn't have been there. We should have seen Alabama playing Georgia. They had to give them the best fight. So for that reason alone, that's why the SEC or the Big Ten should have 2 auto bids, at least in my humble opinion, if you want to keep the auto bids. But if not, do away with them. Say 5 auto, 7 at large. And I know this may sound confusing. I just hope you are sticking with me because I'm trying to dumb this down in the simplest way possible. Well, now we've been presented with a new possibility, and I think this is great. And let me give you a disclaimer and warning before I even show you this new college football 12-team format. None of this is official at this current moment in time. This is all speculation. This is just a scenario that's been thrown out there. Take it with a grain of salt. This is what has been proposed. On the far left of the bracket, we'll start out with the left side. You got the team that finished 4th in the Big Ten matching up with the team that finished 2nd in the SEC. On the bottom of our left side of the bracket, you got the 2nd place Big Ten team going up against the 3rd place Big 12 team. And then moving along here to our quarterfinals, your 1st place Big 12 team, they get an automatic bye, which I do like. And your 1st place ACC team, they get an automatic bye. Let's take a look at the right side of our bracket. On the bottom left, you got the 3rd place Big 10 team going up against the 2nd place, the runner-up in the ACC. On the top right, you got the runner-up in the Big 12 versus the 3rd place SEC team. And then in the quarterfinals, you got 2 auto buys. You got the Big 10 1st place winner, and then you got the SEC 1st place. I'm going to show you this as a whole, and if you haven't figured it out by now, your top 4 Big 10 teams, they're getting in the playoff. To go along with that, your top 3 SEC teams are getting in, and then you got 2 ACC teams and 2 Big 12 teams. Actually, my fault. You got 2 ACC teams and 3 Big 12 teams. My bad. Essentially speaking, and you probably figured this out and you're going crazy in the comment section, there's no at-large spots. There's no group of 5 teams. None. And some people may be mad at that, but this isn't college basketball, guys. A team like Cincinnati, a team like Tulane will never win a national title. They can't compete with the blue bloods of college football. I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with this new format. But I don't. I personally like it. The reason I like it is because we're now going to reward these teams in these mega and super conferences for playing hard competition. I like this. Some of you may not like this, and that is totally fine. And oh yeah, this is even better. I forgot about them. But this now bans Notre Dame from even making a playoff. This is great. If you've been watching the channel, I've been harping on this for the past 3 years. Notre Dame should be banned from being ranked inside the top 10, and they also should be banned from ever making the college football playoff. This is amazing. This is better than what I thought. Somebody in the comment section said, how does a group of 5 fit into this? No at large for highest ranked top 25. Also Notre Dame? Question mark. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, buddy, but the group of 5 doesn't fit in this at all. You're not getting in. At least not in this case and scenario. And by the way, this isn't even my list. I'm just pretty much reacting to this. And yeah, the whole Notre Dame thing, I've told you. Notre Dame, you're not getting in either. You don't fit in. And I'm going to show you some of the replies in the comment section. So many people are pissed off about this, and I don't understand why. This is great, man. I don't see the problem with this whatsoever. Now, is this going to happen? Probably not. But if it did, I wouldn't be opposed to it. And I'm going to explain why I'm not opposed to it, because I don't think some of y'all understand how much talent's going to be in the Big Ten and SEC in the future. And I also really don't have a problem with the Big 12 getting 3 teams in either. I think my only change and tweak to this would be, instead of giving the Big 12 3 teams, or your top 3 teams into the playoff automatic spots, I'd give them 2. The ACC, they'd stay at 2, and I'd open up 1 spot for the group of 5, but just 1. I think that'd make everybody happy, and that'd be some common ground. Because I do think it's unfair not to even give the non-Power 5 a single chance to get in. That's not right. Number 1, I want to see them get in from an entertainment standpoint, but number 2, they deserve to get in. So right here, I'll take away 1 from the Big 12, and you just give it to the group of 5. That's good. 3 Big 10, 3 SEC, 2 Big 12, 2 ACC, and then 1 spot for the group of 5. Oh, wait a minute. I said 3 Big 10. It's 4 Big 10. My apologies. I'll address that in just a second as well, because I know some people are going to be in outrage saying, whoa. Why does Big 10 get 4 and the SEC gets 3? because the SEC is the best of the best, and we all know that, but I'll explain that in just a second. Let me pull it up right here, the new Big Ten. What is it now, 18 teams? Yeah, it's 18 teams, and let's just say, let's point out your top 8 teams. Penn State, top 10 team. Michigan, top 5 team. The little bro Ohio State, top 5 team. Then Illinois, top 25 team. Wisconsin, a lot of people are higher on them. Then you got USC, top 10 team. UCLA, top 25 team. Oregon, top 15 team. And Washington, top 20 team. I think I named off 9 teams, but you get the point. You got 8 to 9 teams that are in the top 25. And what was it, 4 or 5 of those teams? Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and USC. That's 4 top 10 teams right there. So going back to this format right here, here's my question. What's the problem with it? I ain't gonna hold you though. Does the Big Ten even deserve for a split second for me to even sit up here and act like they deserve to have 4 spots over the SEC's 3 spots? No, heck to the no. So me, and this is just me, I'd also take away the Big Ten getting 4 teams in. I don't care that they got 18 teams. The SEC, way better than the Big Ten. I know we can't do this, but since this isn't really a serious conversation just quite yet, I'd say, hey, the SEC, they get 4 of the top 4 teams in their conference. They get to get in. But the Big Ten, if you can win a championship, we'll give you that other 4th spot. Until then, the SEC gets 4, the Big Ten gets 3. Or you could also do this, and I just need to stop because we're in the butterfly effect. You could say 3 SEC, 3 Big Ten, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12, 1 non-Power 5, and then 1 at-large spot. You could do that to make it even. That way everybody's happy and also make it way more interesting down the stretch. Of course, this is all theoretically speaking. We're just having fun with this, but I'm extremely curious. Let me know your thoughts on this. I could sit up here for the next 2 hours and talk about this playoff format and what I think they're going to do, but I rambled enough. Let me know your thoughts down below. But